Clean them out, clean them out, clean them out, clean them out. Down and quiet. Sportsman Nitro Truggy, 15-minute C main is now underway. One getting a really well start over there in the sweeper. They're going to get it worked out though. Now guys, it's a 15-minute C main, 15-minute C main. You don't win it on lap 1.
Okay, guys, you got 14:30 left, 14:30 left, lots of racing left. Looks like our leaders are going to be heading towards the wall, one flipping upside down. Lots of carnage on that center double. These guys are getting a lot of air, getting into each other quite a bit. Looks like we do have a flame out or a break, not sure, right before the double. But let's see who leads the whole entire crew around as they head towards the front straightaway. Looks like it's going to be Tommy Scott taking the early lead, and honestly has a pretty big lead. Remember, our top 3 are going to bump. So through the sweeper, your leader goes, followed by David, Scott, and George. Right now, they are looking to bump. Lots of racing left, guys. Lots of racing left. Second over the triple, and here comes third, I do believe, over the triple, doing the double single. Lots of these guys looking to go double single. Quite a bit safer. Not that much slower if you don't do anything too crazy. Everyone's starting to separate by quite a bit. 1-2 seconds between most drivers. Here comes your leaders. Finishing up lap number 2, Tommy Scott still in the lead. That's him going through the sweeper. In the second spot, we have David Scott. Not sure if they're related. 2 Scotts are leading this race, and George is still in the third spot, holding it down for the final bump. 12:50 left to go, 12:50 left to go. Lots of racing, guys, lots of racing. Anything can happen in these Nitro mains. Your fastest truck on the track is George. His second lap was a 53.8. He is in the third spot, good enough to bump. It's your leader, Tommy, going through the long sweeping turn. Going up to the small jump to make the right-hand turn. Going to be heading over another little hump to make his way towards the triple. Most likely going to do a double single, so I've seen out of him so far. And he will, going to play it safe here. He's got a pretty large lead so far. Looks to be about 6 seconds. That's all he needs to drive comfortable. David in the second spot, only about 2 seconds ahead of George, I do believe, but 2 and 3 are gonna bump, so even if they battle it out, they're both gonna bump. I believe that was George flipping up upside down before the wall, so we'll see if that 4th spot of Jessica Iler can start to catch up a little bit. 11:10 left to go, a little bit over 11 minutes left to go. Race 22, make sure you guys are ready to go. Race number 22. Race number 23, be thinking about it. Make sure your battery's charged, tires are glued. Got your coffee in your system. It's still the Scott show as Tommy and David are leading this, and George is in that 3rd spot, trying to run away from the rest of the field, secure his bump spot. Tommy Scott opening up a pretty large lead. This is him making the right-hand turn on the left-hand side of the track, going over the second little hump, making his way towards a triple. David is just now making the right-hand turn over the first jump, making his way to the second jump. The full running order right now is Tommy, David, George, Jessica, Nathan, Joe in the 6th spot, Ryan, Jeff, Mark, Adam White in the 10th, Brandon in the 11th, Mackenzie, Robert, Tony, and Jersey running up your top 15. Fastest lap right now is held by Joe Cox with a 52.9. Out of his Nitro Truggy. As we approach halfway into this race, fuel stops will be happening pretty soon. Don't believe anyone's going to be going 15 minutes on a tank, so everyone in this race will need a pit once. Unless they got some Superman engine and they're going 20 minutes in this race. .30 left to go, 8:30 left to go. We are approaching that halfway mark of 7:30. So it looks like George and David are switching spots out there, 2nd and 3rd. Not sure what happened there, but George moving up to the 2nd and David down to the 3rd. Remember guys, you don't need to battle too hard. All you need is that 2nd and 3rd, so work together, or else Joe Cox is gonna make his way up into the battle. Looks like he's not that far behind, only 8 seconds, I do believe, behind David. On this big of a track, seconds can go by very quickly. One mistake can turn into a big difference. So we are very close to that halfway mark. Fuel stop should be happening. Looks like we do have one car coming in to the pit. That may be your leader, actually, not quite sure. There's a couple cars that looks like him. 2 cars in the pit. Let's see which one's gonna head out first. Looks like the car farther down the pit had a quicker pit man. That guy knows what he's doing. But Tommy, David, and George have that top 3 wrapped up. Joe and Nathan are 4th and 5th, followed by Jessica, Mark, Jeff, Brandon, Adam in the top 10, Mackenzie, Ryan, and looks like Tony is the last car still running.
Just over 6 minutes left to go. Tommy Scott right now with a 10-second lead here over David Scott. And right as I say that, George moves up into the 2. Now David Scott down to that number 3 spot. Joe Cox in the number 4. Nine minutes down, 6 minutes remaining. Tony Scott with a 16-second lead. That's Tommy Scott. George Pacheco running in that number 2 spot with David Scott in the 3. Jessica Iler scoring in the 4, 13 seconds away from the transfer up to the B main. Joe Cox running in the 5, Mark Samuelson in the 6, Nathan Rogers in the 7, Brandon Holley in the 8. Jeff Chandler in the 9, Adam Winkle in the number 10, Mackenzie White in the 11, Ryan in the 12, Tony Roney in the 13, James Whitaker 14. We are just over 5 minutes left to go in this race. 23-second lead now for Tommy Scott, up over David Scott. George scoring into number 3. George, one of our bump ups from the D main, looking to transfer up to the B. George beginning that climb, trying to fight and claw his way up to the A main. They'll be taking place later this afternoon, right at about 7 o'clock. Excuse me, 4 o'clock. We started right about 4 o'clock. Just over 4 minutes left to go. Tommy Scott right now with a 12-second lead over David Scott. George running into number 3. Samuelson in the 4. Joe Cox in at number 5. Chandler in the 8. Tommy Scott, 12-second lead. Here he goes across the line now, down the front straightaway, working his way through that long sweeper turn. I think it's got to be at least about 150 foot long. Feels like you're in it forever. I was talking to some of the guys yesterday. David Scott into number 2. George Pacheco into number 3. Mark Samuelson in the 4. Going to be interesting to see if those servos going to be able to hold on. Oh, look out. Talk about a crossover move, trying to take out the turn marshal. Turn marshal got eyes in the back of his head. I don't know how he saw it, but he did. Tommy Scott right now with a 15-second lead over David Scott. Mark Samuelson now finds himself in at number 3 with Joe Cox running into 4. George now down to that number 5 spot with 2:30 left to go. 2:30 left to go here in Sportsman Nitro Truggy. Race number 21 on the track.
Two minutes left.
Minute 44 left to go here for Tommy Scott. Minute 20 left to go. Minute 20 left to go. David Scott now in that number 2 with a 10-second lead. Up on Mark Samuelson. Joe Cox 6.3 seconds away from the transfer. Nathan Rogers scoring into 5.
1 minute left.
Samuelson coming across the line, still solidly in that number 3 spot with only 40 seconds left to go on the race clock. Our Sportsman Nitro Truggy C-Main on the track. Tommy Scott right now with a 4.9 second lead here over David. Mark Samuelson in at number 3, Joe Cox in the 4. Nathan Rogers in the 5, Jeff Chandler in the 6, Jeff Schuyler in the 7. Time about to expire here. Tommy Scott,
Mark
David
Samuelson
Scott, Mark
done.
Samuelson. He's going to
Adam
come across the
Winkle
line.
done.
He will
Joe Cox done.
make the transfer up.
Ryan Bucher done. Mackenzie White done. Nathan Rogers done. Jeff
Wait on
Chandler
everybody to
done.
finish up. Here comes Tommy Scott and David Scott.
Tommy Scott done. David Scott done.
Wait on Jessica Iler.
Jessica Iler done.
There she is.
All driver are finished.
And that is the race, guys. Everybody is done. Tommy Scott, David Scott.